All right, today we got a special guest. If I have to introduce him, then you haven't been following us. But this is best friend of Ukraine, great man for humanity, top of the army day to you, Dr. Burns, Reverend Burns with us, and beautiful Maria. So, not wasting much time, Maria. Can I ask the first question of Pastor Burns?
Sure, Captain. Thank you for
He's
introducing me.
he's been so popular in Washington that everybody wants to talk to Pastor Burns. Everybody wants to get inspiration from him, and I want to always ask you, sir, that when I met you first in Washington during inauguration, I was told that you have the second largest congregation of Black Americans. And when Rabbi Asman told me that he wants to invite you to Ukraine, I said, wait a minute, where is Pastor Burns? Where is Ukraine? Where's his congregation in Ukraine? It's totally two opposite sides of the spectrum. And then I see you now traveling all over the world, to Asia, to Africa. You're inspiring millions of people, I think. But why Ukraine? Why did you decide to come to Ukraine? It seems like you would be the last person that would be interested in Ukraine.
Well, first of all, Captain Gary, it's always a blessing to get to talk to you and the beautiful, precious Maria. I wish I got to spend more time with Maria when I was in Kyiv last, but when I come back for Sophia Square, I will be able to spend more time with my precious, precious, beautiful friend.
Thank you so much.
Captain Gary, you're a blessing to millions of people, and Maria, you guys are speaking the truth. And for that, sir, you are the pit bull. You're President Trump's pit bull in Ukraine.
Pitbull. Yeah.
So,
And I'm also a pitbulless.
yes,
You
you
pitbull.
are. Yes, you are a pit bulless. Precious, beautiful one at that. Again, how did I come to Ukraine? As has been said many times, the rabbi, our precious rabbi, Rabbi Guzman, the chief rabbi of Ukraine, invited me, through Mr. Yakov, and the others who have, who knew the chief rabbi and they connected us together. And I was able to, I go all the way back with you, Captain, back at the inauguration, President Trump. And so having all of you together, knowing you, knowing who and what you do, got me to Ukraine. And seeing these people, beautiful people in Ukraine, they are bigger than just the map. And I've said this so many times. Ukraine is not just a blue and yellow map that you see on CNN. They're real people. And meeting these beautiful, real people, these shopkeepers, these bankers, taxi cab drivers, normal people, to see the atrocities that the Russians are doing, have done, and continue to do to the sovereign nation of Ukraine. It moved my heart. And I stopped focusing on whether it was Republican initiative or a Democrat initiative. I stopped worrying about whether it was on the right or on the left, or whether it was conservative or liberal, whether it was Biden or Trump. And I began to immediately begin to see the human being and those that have been affected by this evil, evil war pushed by Vladimir Putin. And so for me, it was easy. God spoke to my heart to speak out against the evil that is happening to Ukraine, not because it is popular, but because it is right. And that's the rest is history. I've been extremely verbal, still been verbal until we get the bombs to stop.
Can I add a little thing to it? I mean, it's very interesting what you just said about notwithstanding whether right or left, but I have to make a little, kind of research. The point is that I live in Ukraine. And I see clearly that the fundamental, essential rules in Ukraine are very, very Republican. Family, church, work, all these things that are very familiar and very close to the Republican Party are so essential for the Ukrainians. And it's strange that so much democratic influences and also media was working in Ukraine all these years, and you're the first person to break this spell. You came and everyone saw that Republicans are for Ukraine and that President Trump is for Ukraine, stands with Ukraine.
Yes.
True, true,
Yes.
true.
Well,
Very true.
again, it's baffling to me, and I wish I can say everything that I know, but I can tell you without, and I know it looks like to some people that we are selling out Ukraine, but we are absolutely not. The president has done more for Ukraine than any previous administration. I mean, it's because President Trump armed the Ukrainians. Remember, they didn't have javelins. And Captain Gary, you've been a military man and a man of high ranking in the United States Navy. You know very well. Arming the soldiers with the right equipment is what is needed to put a stop to Ukraine. The full-scale invasion did not happen under President Trump's watch, but he equipped the Ukrainian army with the javelins that put a halt to the Russian armor. That's one of the reasons why they aren't able to continue to do what they did the first time, because now the Ukrainian military have the javelins that President Trump gave them. Not only that, he pressured NATO. People are not understanding. NATO is now more powerful because President Trump has forced NATO to do what NATO is designed to do. Just yesterday, the EU met and said, we need to prepare for war. France is now offering voluntary signing up for the military in France right now. They're beefing up their military. Everyone is realizing that Vladimir Putin is not going to stop with Ukraine. It is his mission to restore the USSR. Even though he said out of his mouth that that's not his plan, everyone knows he is a lie. But the fact is, President Trump is imposing a high tariff right now on India for buying Russian oil. Russia, and we're going after the oligarchs. We're going after the partners who are supporting Russian oil. The Numstrong 2 pipeline that Europe was using to fuel Europe has been cut off because President Trump made it clear to Europe, you are funding the Russian war. You are funding Vladimir Putin and their ability to wage war against the innocent Ukrainians. And so the president has made it very clear that Vladimir Putin is a man of his own. And even though the president has done other than declare war, and God forbid that to happen, but recently Vladimir Putin just threatened the United States of America. He just threatened us. And so what did the President Trump do in response? He parked a nuclear sub, and Captain Gary, you know this better than I do. That we have the greatest nuclear submarines technology than any country in the world. We are far superior than every nation in the world when it comes to submarine nuclear technology. And we have one parked right now in Russia's backyard. That is a show of force that President Trump just did, because we're not the ones to be messed with. And I know to my brothers and sisters in Ukraine, some are saying we're selling out Ukraine. Trump is selling out Ukraine. But the fact of the matter is, one of the reasons why Putin has not overtaken Ukraine is because of the support that America is giving to our brothers and sisters on the front lines. And I'm talking to these soldiers almost on a daily basis, those who are in the trenches right now. The talking heads, they can talk all day long, those who are pushed by liberal media. But the soldiers who are in the ground, they're in the trenches right now. They are dodging the drones right now as we speak. They are thanking President Trump for what he is doing and to help provide them with the assistance that they desperately need to make sure that the Russian invader never, ever do this ever again to Ukraine.
Thank you, Reverend. I watched you, what we say, address the troops, or in Maria's world, it's working the crowd, but you've been doing it in Asia, in Africa, in Ukraine, and I've seen you keep people so excited. You radiate so much energy, so much love, so much force, that half of the people that don't even understand English, especially Southern English, not New York English, they still applaud you. They get so moved. They come up to me and they say, "Where did you get this guy? Oh my God!" I'm like, "Did you understand what he said?" They said, "Not a word." But boy, was that powerful what he has delivered. But then I watch you afterwards when you're exhausted, you're completely drained, even though you're smiling and hugging. I see that soldier that just came out of a battlefield, exhausted. And I always wondered, it's clearly God gave you a gift. There's no question about it to get to people, to all kinds of people, Ukrainians, Russians, Americans, black, whites, Jews, Christians, everybody, Asians, everybody. He gave you a gift. But then I see you being exhausted. Do you feel sometimes that you're cursed or you're blessed?
Well, Captain Gary, God has given us all a certain measure of abilities to do what we're called and made to do. You, Captain Gary, led so many men in the United States military, such a high-ranking person. You, equivalent for those who don't know, is a full-bird colonel. So they call you captain, but you're really like a full-bird colonel.
A little bit more class, yeah.
Yeah, well, and so you're high-ranking first Soviet-speaking officer in the United States military to do so. Such a high honor. Maria has a gift of singing and her beautiful, absolutely voice that we most definitely have to have her come for the January the 22nd Spiritual Diplomat Interfaith Conference at the U.S. Capitol. Captain Gary, you got to bring her with you.
Absolutely.
And opens.
Thank you so much.
But God has given us all these abilities to do so, but yet we are still very much human, and so we have to deal with the human limitations. And yes, it is exhausting, but I love to do it because I know God made me to do it, and He gave me this gift, and that it comes from Him. It's not from me. That's why when people praise me, I know Mark's limitations. I keep myself humbled because I know how messed up I am. I understand how lost I am without the Lord God. I understand how weak I am. Even though I may have come across as strong, it is He and He alone that gives me the strength to give you the ability, Captain Gary, to lead. I mean, you was leading in Ukraine when nobody else was there. You was on television. You was backing this up. You was there before. We come, from the works that you've been doing. Maria been leading. I mean, Maria, I've read your story and all that has happened to you, and the loss of family and the devastation, but yet you still smile and you still strong. You still show a lot of strength, and your voice is echoing around the whole entire world. You're telling the world what's the real news in Ukraine and how it really is. That takes supernatural strength, and God has given us all a measure of strength to do that. And so I don't see myself anything special. I see myself as just one of the brothers, one of the brothers, like with Maria, like with you, Captain, who is just doing our small part. My heart really goes out for the soldiers that I talk to almost on a daily basis. Literally, they're out there in the fields, in the ground. I'm in their bunkers. They're showing me their bunkers right now that are buried in the ground. I was talking to one soldier yesterday, and about an hour later, that same soldier had his leg blown off. And they thank the Lord he survived, but his leg is gone now. And he was just thanking President Trump, but now he got his leg blown off. So these are the soldiers, the men and women that are on the front lines fighting for us. They are fighting for America first. They are fighting America's battle. And I know President Trump did not start this war. I know he inherited this war. And this would have never happened had he been president, if they would have never stole the election. But because he has inherited this war, he is doing everything within his power to bring a peace to it, to bring a stop to it, and that's why he's using voices like yours, Captain Gary, to do that, to be that strong pit bull and to be that, to tell the world what's really happening in Ukraine. So my heart goes for those soldiers who are thanking President Trump, and they're out there in the freezing cold right now, fighting America's battle, because again, supporting Ukraine is America first.
Thank you so much for your words that are so important for everyone in Ukraine. And following just what you said now, many American conservatives draw parallels between the Second Amendment and the idea that an armed citizenry is essential for protecting fundamental freedoms, including religious liberty, against tyranny. Do you believe that enshrining a Second Amendment style right to bear arms in Ukraine's constitution, possibly, would serve as a vital long-term guarantee of security against Russian threats, while also protecting religious freedoms from suppression and tyranny?
Absolutely. I mean, again, I'm probably, maybe not the best person to ask this question to, because being 4th Battalion, 118th Infantry in the Army, South Carolina National Guard.
Hoorah!
That's right. All day 11 Bravo, Fort Benning, Georgia.
Ooh.
I'm 100% for what we call the Second Amendment here in America. And that is the right to bear arms. And that the whole purpose of having the Second Amendment, or the right to bear arms, is to protect your family. Matter of fact, Japan even made quote of this. They said that it is very difficult to invade America because behind every building there is a gun. And they are absolutely right. That they understood that every American will have a gun, and it's a deterrent. It is to keep people from invading America. If you get through the military, you're going to still have to fight the citizens, because we all are carrying some type of a weapon. And that purpose of this is to defend our homes, to defend our children. A matter of fact, the word pastor means shepherd, or to shepherd. And so a shepherd protects their flocks. And so I 100% believe that if Ukraine would adopt a Second Amendment type amendment in your constitution to allow all your citizens to bear arms to protect themselves, absolutely will be a deterrent from allowing anyone else to ever invade the sovereign nation of Ukraine ever again.
Dr.
Thank
Burns,
you so much.
I know you every minute, you don't have those minutes in your life, but and I know we gotta let you go, but I hate letting you go. So I'm going to ask you one more question because I know you don't know this, and we've talked about it before, and you don't exactly agree with it, but you are our protection. You're protecting me. You're protecting. You are a shepherd. You're protecting Maria, because those of us who are in Ukraine, due to Ukrainians living so close with the Russians for so long, with the Soviets, they're infiltrated by that ideology. There's FSB is at work out there. So those of us who are pro-Trump and pro-Ukraine in the Ukrainian media, a lot of times we're the enemy, because we're pro-Trump, and if you're pro-Trump, you cannot be pro-Ukraine. And this is how the Soros, and of course, I'm generalizing Soros. It's a lot of different media outlets out there making that. And I noticed that you stood up for an American Ukrainian TV station called Alatra, I believe, and you stood up for them because they are too, as far as I saw, they were very pro-Ukrainian and they're pro-Trump, and you stood up for them. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone. I don't like to speak for everyone because everybody, but at this time, I'm going to take this upon and take command, and I will speak for everyone. Everyone loves you for that. Everyone loves you for that because you're on the right side of history, regardless, Democrat, Republican, regardless of Ukrainian, United States, Israel. You stand where the right is, where the heart is, where our soul. So I say that that Ukrainians love you. Ukrainian people love you. They can't wait. When I'm there, they keep saying, when is Mark Burns coming back? Because you're protecting them. You're protecting me. You're protecting Maria. And I say Americans love you. Israelis love you. Africans love you. Asians love you. I see it all over. I love you. Maria loves you.
I love you both so much, Maria and
Thank you
Catherine.
for
I love
everything you
so
do.
much.
Thank you that you're
May I
shepherding us.
may I ask you one more little question about how is going everything on. I mean, the preparation for your church and for the 22nd of January. Maybe you can make a little announcement for our viewers.
Absolutely, Marie. Well, I tell you, Captain Gary is going to be there, and I pray that you get to come and be there with us as well to sing and open up the beautiful event.
She wants it.
I want you to come
I
so
am
bad.
dreaming about it and praying.
It's going to be at the U.S. Capitol. It's very symbolic. It's not going to be, it's going to be, we're already going to be running out of seats. We're only going to be able to hold about 300 people. It's the largest room at the U.S. Capitol to hold an event there. And so, it's symbolic to have it there. We're bringing faith leaders, Jewish leaders. We're having rabbis come in. We're having imams coming, priests from the Catholic Church, pastors, people from the Hindu faith, all these different faiths are coming together under the auspice of peace. We are spiritual diplomats, those of us who operate in faith,
Amen.
but also in politics, meaning that we understand that real power doesn't come from politics. It comes from God. Our rights don't come from politics. They come from God. And we're used in behind the scenes to help end conflicts, to communicate with leaders from other conflict zones, like what's happening in the DRC with the Democratic Republic of Congo, what's happening in Venezuela, what's happening, obviously in Ukraine. We're working with the leaders at the highest level of politics from a faith perspective. What's happening in Thailand and Cambodia. Cambodia just got bombed by Thailand. And so these are the conflict zones that President Trump is working with. We're working with Korea and even North Korea to try to bring peace between those two factions. And so there's so many ways to bring peace that goes beyond politics, that goes beyond borders, that goes beyond treaties, and it's through faith. And Captain Gary, you are a spiritual diplomat because you are a powerful Jewish man who loves God, but also operate at the highest level of politics and political theater. You, sir, are what we would call a spiritual diplomat. And so my prayer is that those who are watching this broadcast, for you to come to Washington, D.C., January the 22nd at the U.S. Capitol on Capitol Hill, where we'll be all coming together to celebrate spiritual diplomacy. Go to spiritualdiplomats.org. Spiritual diplomats.
We'll have a
link under this
later.
video.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Dr. Burns, it is an honor to have you with us, and I hope, and I know I'll see you on the 22nd. We'll see you on the 22nd of January, and I have 2 minutes left with you, but we're going to let you go early. So I salute you,
Maria
sir.
with you. Bring her
Absolutely.
with you.
She's coming. She's coming.
You better be there, young lady.
She will be there.
Thank you so much and for everything and for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Thank you, Dr. Burns.